Hello everybody! Welcome to our yearly cost video.
In this video, you will find out how much exactly cost us to refit this 50-year-old catamaran, which cost us 13,000 euros.
Yeah, we're going to do everything in euros, but we'll put the prices on for USD and GBP. And we'll get straight into it. So, refit, no marinas, no ports. For the last year, we've spent approximately
2,856 euros.
But then if you add in ports and marinas, including the dry dock, the hard standing, it was
5,036 euros.
Oh yeah. We're gonna break things down very, how do you say?
Very
detailed.
Yeah, because I kept all the receipts.
And a lot of stuff as well we got for free. People just came and dropped it off for us, or we found it in the trash, or of course the Amazon wish list as well. So thank you to all you guys as well. You saved us.
A huge help.
So big work that was done on the boat was the skegs and the rudders, which were in a terrible shape. A massive thank you to Victor.
Bon? No, I'm not happy.
Who helped us with that. So he had some marine carpentry experience and he was super amazing at helping us with that.
A very good teacher as well.
Yeah, but materials for that basically 60 euros for the polyester, 60 to 70 euros for the fiberglass. And the rollers and brushes were given, and yeah, with Victor's expertise, so we only paid 120 for that, which is just amazing. So something that has been annoying us a lot, and a lot of the viewers of this channel as well, is the engine, because it's just been causing us no end problems. And I'll say straight away, we spent 810 euros in refitting the engine. So we're going to rattle off exactly what we spent on the engine. We'll go one by one. Yeah?
Yeah, exactly.
Injector nozzles, 70.
Injector testing, 150.
That was a rip-off.
Yeah, that was definitely a rip-off.
That's when we realised that labour in France is
way too much.
Way too much.
And that's why we need to thank Victor again.
New water pump, that was 50.
And thermostats, that was 110.
A castellated nut removing tool, which I kind of just bought because I wanted to really redo the head. That was 50.
Was that the monk tool?
No. Oh, I didn't put that in. That was another 10.
And the gasket set, 120.
And one new injector because I broke a return barb. That was 50.
And the glow plugs, 100.
Hoses were 10.
Filters were 10.
Impeller cost us about 40.
And some engine oil cost us 50.
So the total, yeah, actually with the monk tool, pop, that was an extra tenner, so 820 spent on the engine. Was it worth it? Let us know in the comments. So hydraulics as well. Our boat is driven by hydraulics attached to the engine, and we didn't spend much on that. I just replaced the oil, that was 90. Filter was 5, and we got some expert advice from Justin, who basically helped us to fix the system. A big one, what we spent a lot of time on, and it's completely unfinished, and we actually have to say, we say this is the price for the refit, but this is like the price for the first step of the refit, because we have so much more. But the interior basically, so epoxy for bulkheads and decks, that was 83. Epoxy filleting blend for fillets, that was 30.
And with paint, we didn't really buy any because our old owner had some old stocks.
Switches cost us 10.
And the wiring about 20.
Miscellaneous electrical bits and bobs, including a bus bar, 40 euros.
And my proud cork floor cost us 110. However, we also find big rows of free synthetic corks for the lounge, which is free.
Seating foam cost us 60 euros.
And some IKEA stuff with bedding and kitchen stuff, a big wok for cooking my Chinese meals, and a luxury piano stool, which cost us total 160.
We made many Alibaba purchases, a lot of them coming through not very good, but they probably came to about 20 euros.
And a big cost is trips to the DIY stores such as Leroy Merlin, which cost us 450.
So that included things like wood, wooden trim, bits and bobs. It's amazing how much you end up spending in these DIY stores. It really racks up. So the total for the interior was 930 euros. So another thing which basically I was going back and forward with was the toilet. So basically for that, with hoses, I spent 20, gooseneck valves, 2 gooseneck valves, 40 euros, an accumulator tank that was 50 euros, which actually was quite helpful.
Yeah.
And hose clamps, I probably spent about 20, but people gave us loads of those for free around the boatyard. The total for toilet and plumbing is 130 euros.
Well, I suppose it's actually cheaper than a housing fix.
Yeah.
Do you think?
Oh yeah. Hull and deck. So I bought a load of paint for the cockpit, which I've not used. That was 30 euros.
And the butyl tapes, which is really useful. However, it only cost 8 euros.
That is probably the best 8 euros that we've ever spent.
Definitely.
Because we've still got loads left.
Highly recommended.
Butyl tape, baby. I probably spent about 30 euros on Sikaflex, maybe even more. And also the True Design through hull and ball valve together, that was about 60, 70 euros. And I bought 2 stainless steel deck fillers, one which I've not fitted yet. They were 70 euros altogether. So hull and deck total 198 euros.
And next one is my famous windows, which I spend a lot of time doing. So that luxury looking metal finish paint cost me 34 euro, and EVA foam cost me 20 euro, and screws, which are very difficult to find, but I managed to find them, and they cost 50 euros, and some solvents. What's that?
Solvents, basically EVA foam remover, yeah.
Ah, okay.
Like sticker remover.
And that cost me 10. And a lot of guidance from my sensei, Justin, free. Thank you very much, Justin.
So the totals for the window refit was 124. Probably one of the best and most thorough jobs on the boat.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
It actually, when it comes together, it doesn't sound a lot, but a lot of it is like manpower, isn't it?
Yeah, a lot of it is time. So 124 is it's not too bad. So tools. So a reciprocating saw, that should have been 130, but Amazon wishlist. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We never managed to track you down who brought us that, but thank you very much.
anonymous.
A grinder cost us 15 euros on Amazon. Soldering set the same, 15 euros on Amazon. But so many generous people with tools on Amazon wishlist. So thank you so much. And also as well, the previous owner had a magical box of tools: sanders, grinders, circular saws, jigs, everything. So
Yeah.
we used those. We basically used the heck out of all of those tools. So we hardly had to spend anything. The total was only 60 euros for all tools.
Wow. Which is good. Because if you think about buying one tool, they cost about 30 euro.
Yeah, I think one of the best things about this boat was that magical box and our magical audience.
Thank you, Catherine, our previous owner's daughter, who left the box for us to use until we finish. And when we left it, we give it back to her. And that was a really big help.
So the fuel tank, that was a big job. And yeah, the tank cost us 120, the hose is around 50, and kind of attachments, hose barbs, connections, pre-filters, like 30 euros, so a total of 200 euros for the fuel tank. And also, I'll get this in now, a lot of people were saying that the fuel tank in that place where I put it would be terrible, but it was actually really good. There's no odour coming from it, there's no sloshing, and it is fixed, and I'm actually really pleased that it's there. Thankfully there's not been any fuel problems with the engine,
Yeah.
so that's been a good job.
Definitely. And taking out the huge tank give us a lot of space and took out the weight at the front of the catamaran, because when we actually went out sailing, even the anchor kind of like dig in as well, so I can't imagine with the fuel tank it probably was.
Yeah, defo. Stand-in rigging, basically cones, a swageless end, and some wire, cost us €256. So the total there, €256 for rigging. We still have a little bit of wire left, but also this season I want to buy some 8mm wire, maybe 100 meters, and do the main shrouds. So that's going to cost close to £1,000, I think, to do that. But I think it will add a lot of value to the boat.
Yeah, and it's necessary. Safety.
For the solar, we had the solar panels, they blew off in a storm and they're in all sorts of state. Thanks to JD for coming down and helping us with that. We just bought some MC4 connectors, they were €30, and for the building materials they were €150. It could have been a lot less, but we messed up the installation, and then we just went with 2 steel bars, which should have cost us about 50. So we learnt some lessons there. Altogether €180 for a shoestring solar arch. So basically that's the refit cost done. We also have, of course, some extra sailing and other bits, travelling expenses and stuff, so we'll go through that quickly. Someone's at the door! Sorry about that, allow us to continue. Fuel, that cost us a total of, 96, so I think we filled up for about €80 one time, and we still have a little bit left. We did buy a couple of cheap jerry cans for like £8, but they are really bad. But thanks to Chris for basically, he came with 2 incredibly good jerry cans, the yellow ones, really good, no leaks.
Never leaks.
And we'll never buy cheap ones again. So the total for that was 96.
So for the marina cost, when we were back in Port St. Louis Navy Service boat yard, the existing contract ended in May, and we paid up to August for 3 months, and it was $434 per month, and the total is $1,300.
Which I thought is not too bad for a catamaran of 38 foot. So we went out then for like 3-4 weeks at anchor, and then we came back to Port St. Louis in the marina, which was very expensive, for about 10 days. To pick up the parents, and that cost us €256. We really didn't spend that much time in marinas. One night in Puerto de la Selva, that was 22, and then we had a bit of a long one in Escala with our parents. That was Mum and Dad's treat. That came, thank you very much. That came to €150. And our new marina where we are now, it is roughly 300 per month. So 2 months up to, December 31st, that's 600. So the total in marinas was actually, no way, 2,180. So yeah, it's not cheap. It's definitely our biggest expense.
But we are aiming at, during summer, we will be mostly at anchor.
So actually, from going into the water and to arriving at our new marina, we only spent 17 nights in the marina. So we can do it, especially, and that was in autumn, coming into winter. So in summer, it's so easy to live off anchor in the Mediterranean. It's got a reputation of being an expensive place, but we'll always find a little hole which we can stay in. It's always possible, because there's always shoestring sailors, especially in the Mediterranean, or everywhere really. Anyway, a couple of little extras. We bought an EPIRB that cost us $400, and we also bought a brand new pink dinghy. And that was a big expense, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was a kind of like a treat for ourselves for putting Minky in the water this year.
That was €1,200. So that brings us back to our totals of a no marina total of 2,856, with marinas 5,036, and with marinas and extras 6,636. So, and then you add on to that, of course, the cost of the boat, which was €13,000. So,
do you think it's worth it?
I think there's reasons why it's worth it, and there's reasons why there's not. So for me, the reason why it's worth it is that for what we're talking here, like 19,000 with the boat included. It's a lot of money, but it's also our house for a year as well. So if you take it into account, if you're paying a mortgage on a house, and the fun of it and the education, for those reasons, it's really worth it. But I do worry that after we've put the money into it, will we make a profit or make our money back?
I think I can reassure you on that, because before we bought the boat, I checked the same model of this catamaran online, and 2 places they have it for sale. One is in Holland and one is in America. They're all over 50,000 K.
Yeah.
So I do think we definitely got a deal.
Well, that's the thing. I think if we meet in the middle, because they're advertised for 50, but maybe a little bit worth a bit less, but we still have so much more work to go. And
Yeah.
if you think about the value of the boat now, with the engine dismantled and everything, it's probably not worth the money that we've put into it. But I think over the next year, we'll get the value to where it needs to be. We're probably going to do like 2 or 3 months of like proper refit, get the engine sorted, and it should be worth a pretty penny. Whether it'll bring us any profit, it doesn't really matter too much.
Yeah, this year is for us would be no rush to putting the boat in the water because it's already in the water, but we're gonna do a good job and enjoy the learning process as well.
Yeah. So, well, thank you for watching this video. Next week, hopefully we'll have some news on a new engine that we're going to put in. We don't know, or we're not sure, because we're going to head back to the boat pretty soon, but stay tuned on the community page of our YouTube channel for any like updates. Also Instagram, Facebook and all that stuff. We'll post any updates on there. So thanks for watching.
And thank you everyone for supporting us, and I need to thank everyone who helped us in this refit again. Doesn't matter if you helped us with extra stuff that you give us, or your hard work, or your expertise, or from Amazon wishlist. Our home and our journey were made possible because all of you, and sincerely thank you for
Absolutely.
supporting.
Also, Coffee and PayPal, you guys' names have just been showing up on the screen.
We feel so lucky and grateful, and Happy New Year everyone, and best wish from all 3 of us.